I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now then, let the record show everybody's present on the board.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody look over the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay.
A second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. First up, Matt Wyatt, Director of Planning and Development. Discussion under decision to decide on a moratorium on wind and solar projects. Matt.
Good morning. Happy election day, everybody. I was asked to bring forward a proposal for temporary moratorium on wind and solar energy conversion systems for Potawatomi County. It is a fairly common practice. We are undergoing a major renovation of our Chapter 8 ordinances in relation to wind and the addition of solar. So if the Board of and we know that we have projects out there currently looking to start up, this would just allow us to hold off on issuing any permits for those until the Board of Supervisors adopts the new regulations for wind and solar in Potawatomi County.
And you would like it just until we pass that?
The language in this does allow us to put, if you look at the second paragraph, whereas the board desires to impose a moratorium prohibiting the Director of Planning and Development and the Zoning Board of Adjustment from accepting or otherwise acting on any application to develop wind or solar energy conversion systems, including a wind farm, as the ordinance currently defines for, and we can put a set number of days in there, from the effective date of this resolution or until the board completes its review and amendment of the ordinances regulating wind, solar, and energy conversion systems, whichever is earlier.
I think that that's a good idea, Matt. I think when this board decided to hire a firm to take a look at our current ordinance and make some changes that gets it up to date. I think it was, 15 years old, I believe. I don't have any issues with it. I like the wording of it. It says that so many days or as soon as we get an ordinance passed. So with that, Chairman Shea, I'll make a motion that we set the days to 365 days or until the board completes its review and amendment of the ordinance.
I'll second it.
Is 365 days too much?
Well,
I mean, we've got the public hearing scheduled for next week, and we're having the town hall out to Oakland on Thursday, so I expect some conversation there.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're getting bombarded with information that all needs to be carefully reviewed, and I don't think we need to stall out approving a revised ordinance. I think we need to move forward diligently, and by having 180 days, it makes it a lot quicker for us. We've got to turn it quickly.
Supervisor Miller, we can put any date in there you want. Right now we have a motion and a second on the floor. I don't think that this ordinance is going to take us 365 days. But the language in the resolution specifically says that once we have completed review and set the ordinance, that goes away. So I guess the number of days doesn't really matter to me.
So it could be 30 or it could be 90.
Could be 365.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree with Tim. I mean, it can be, we can resolve this thing fairly quickly and then it's over.
And it's over.
Yeah.
Comments?
I agree with Supervisor Miller. I think we're moving along at a pretty good pace for the ordinance. And I also agree with Supervisor Wickman that because of the statement here where it drops off after code changes are put into place, either or, I think the board would be okay with
it certainly is not my intent to drag this out for a year. You know, as you said, that we have the meeting scheduled, planning and zoning has already met. We have a public hearing set for the 14th. There's a chance that that might get continued. I expect it to probably be done within 90 days, but 365 doesn't hurt anything.
Comment?
Is 365 of the max days you can put in there, or what? Is there anything special about that number? That's just 1 year, I guess.
No, I don't think you can. I don't think the number of days makes any difference. You could do 1,000, I suppose, but I mean, that's really overblowing things.
No, I understand, okay.
And our chances of finishing this before then are fairly high. Very high.
Very high.
Well, I don't know, do you actually have, I mean, we've talked about this before, do you actually have permits sitting ready to be issued on your desk then?
No.
That's what I thought, every time I've asked you, how many possible presenters are there for?
3.
You have 3 that have inquired, I guess,
3 active projects, I would think that are probably pretty close.
to come in and doing permits?
2 for the wind, and then 1 for solar.
Okay. Thank you. No, I'm okay with 365. I mean, it could be less.
Because it could drop as soon as we
It
pass
could be less.
anything, so. Any more comments?
I'm good.
Okay. Let's do
It's a roll call.
do a roll call. Melvin?
Okay, Chairman Shea,
Aye.
Supervisors Belt,
All right.
Wickman,
I
Miller,
Nay, and I believe we can get it done a lot faster.
Supervisor Jorgensen.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, next up, to approve and authorize the board to sign resolution number 71-2023 entitled Resolution for a Temporary Moratorium on Wind and Solar Energy Conversion Systems within Pottawatomie County, Iowa.
It's my mistake, Chairman Shea. I should have referenced that resolution in my motion.
You know, it wasn't up here, so. Do we need to correct, or are we okay?
Who did
We've done a
your
roll
second?
call,
Tim?
so I think we're perfectly fine.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Matt, anything else to add?
That's enough there?
Okay. Anybody want to make a motion on this?
What are we making a motion
Number 2-2.
Chairman Shea, I'll just amend, can I amend my motion to include resolution 71-2023?
I think we
That's what
should.
it- Well, that's what I've got, is a motion to approve the resolution 71-2023.
I just didn't state that in my motion, so.
He read the pertinent parts of the motion. It is documented here. So moving on.
Okay. Resolution 71-2023. Discussion?
That's what we already voted on.
This number 2.
Number 2.
One-
Okay.
1 and 2 were combined.
Okay. Well, on my sheet it's 2 separate, so.
on? No, what did we do?
I don't know why we have 2 motions there.
I don't either. Okay, Matt Wyatt, Director of Planning and Development, discussion under decision is starting a TIF agreement with Wayne Peterson for an in-progress housing development, RMP 87 LLC, located off McPherson Avenue. speak.
Yes, so today I have with me, Wayne Peterson. I believe he's, joined by John Jerkovich, Mark Handwright, to discuss the housing development that they're constructing off of McPherson Avenue, just to give everybody kind of an idea of where we're talking about. Everybody knows where Richfield Loop is up there. This is just to the east of that property. It has been through planning commission for preliminary plating of that, and so now Mr. Peterson has reached back out to me. Initially, he wasn't looking for any incentives on the development. Now he is looking for some incentive on the development, and so I'll let him state his case to you.
Good morning, all.
Morning.
I'd like to just reach out to you folks in regards to, so we've started the process of developing this land. There's gonna be 12 lots available, which you folks know about, to the east of Cloverleaf, which is Richfield Loop. And we're just getting ready to put the road in, and I've had several people inquire regarding to asking about the lots, what their price is, and the availability, and I've got a sign up saying what the lots are, how many acres, giving them some incentives on the board just to show them what they can do in that property. It's just outside city limits by just over 2 miles. And it's come to our attention, we've had someone reach out to us and say, well, why don't you see if you can't get a TIF in regards to getting some county tax money in regards to making your lots more cheaper down to get the price of your lots down. And so I reached out to John Jerkovich because I didn't know for sure what to do and how to proceed. And I had several people tell me, why didn't you get this ahead of time? Well, we didn't know what was available in the county to actually reach out and get it started before we started the process of developing the land. And I absolutely, I'm all for it, trying to get money to help lower the cost of the properties. Currently I've asked $225,000, which sounds like a lot, but making the investment and doing the work and getting to where we're at, we're using a lot of money. And we're doing the road to the county, as the county knows. It's going to be given to the county. We've created tax money in selling the lots. We're going to create money for the county in tax money. And I guess that's why all of a sudden they started urging me to try to get some help.
What kind of road are you putting in? You putting asphalt or
No, it's a
cement?
concrete road,
With curb and gutter?
curb, and it's got a gutter. Yep, dump it into a retention pond that
Okay, that was my
drains
next
over
question.
to a existing pond through the next door neighbor's property.
Okay.
All done. It's been engineered and designed by HGM Associates. John Jorgensen here has done a very well job, and we've lived up to his standards. As we speak, the Carly Construction is getting ready to pour the road. This week they were wanting to start. And I don't want to hold the progress up because we all know that the weather's not in our favor. We're running out of daylight. So I'd like to hear what you have to say and what you can do for me.
John, you got a comment?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be hard to recover. You know, we probably asked for the maximum amount, which, you know, the eligible cost, but it will be hard to recover with 11 lots, you know. So, but what I'm emphasizing to Wayne is we want to be competitive in the market. I'm all for, you know, development. Stony Brook is a great project, a friend of Bob Ming's, and that was a different type of deal where it gives kind of a competitive advantage. And the TIF puts the burden on Mr. Peterson. He upfronts all the money. There's no money upfronted by the county. He upfronts the money, and it's up to him on how many houses are built in a timely manner. It puts pressure on him to get the houses built in a timely manner. But we would probably go out to 12 years and probably not recover the cost, you know, of the infrastructure because of the limited number of homes. But it would help him and probably and put him in more competitive. The market's gonna determine the cost, the selling price, and we'll be you know, adjusting accordingly and being more aggressive. and it'd be more aggressive in potential spec building, which is difficult nowadays with the interest rate so high. So I think it puts him on an even playing field with the other developments out there, and that's all we're asking. And it's, whether, how much he gets back is gonna be up to how many houses are built, you know, and so it's gonna be nothing out of the county's pocket, up front. And, I think it puts, more pressure on pricing them aggressively and getting the houses built. And that's what we wanna do. I did Cloverleaf next door in Bentry, and it's a good area, but it's a little bit different time right now too. When I did it, you know, interest rates were 4, now they're, you know, 8 and 9, they can drop. You know, right now I'm doing a development where spec building is at 8, you know, so I used to do 10 specs at a time, now I'm doing 4.
How many lots are gonna be on this? You said 11 and 12.
It's actually 11 for sale, 12 of the houses on lot 12.
Okay, so 12?
So, I think it's just, we're just asking to be treated equally and no zero about the other developments. I think it's, the county is great to work with. And you know, I've done my biggest projects in the county, Bentry and Cloverleaf. So, I just want Mr. Peterson to be treated, you know, sort of fairly so he can be competitive with the other ones. And I'm all for Stony Brook, great project, didn't go. And then we'll have another one in another 2 years probably on Pioneer Trail. Big development. And these were important projects to the county. That's where most of our development is occurring, going to be in the county.
How big are your lots?
2 acre.
Acre. Did you have something?
Yeah,
One, guys?
what's the cost of, developing the road and?
We got a probable cost here from John Jorgensen, and we go through the $795 of everything, and I'll go through that with Matt and Pam. And we got, you know, the road, we have a bid, and we'll provide invoices and paid, but the site improvements total of $635, and then with electrical and other issues that come up to $795. And I visited with Pam and Matt about it, and we'll go through these and, you know, definitely cooperate with them in which segments. You know, there might be some that, you know, electrical, you get money back. You know, we get 80% back, and certain things that you know, but he's in such a situation where the number of houses is, it's going to be impossible for him to get all this, to get his money back, where Mr. Mings would get his money. It was upfronted, but I think that was a good move on your part.
It was not upfronted.
Pardon?
It was not upfronted.
You guys aren't paying.
No. The county's not paying. Mings is fronting the cost just like any other agreement.
Okay, I'm sorry, Matt, I thought that because.
No, I just wanted to make sure that didn't get confused, because
Okay.
we don't want a string of people coming in thinking.
No, I apologize, I thought that was different, because of 2 mile limit in the city, and the city was some discussion with the city, so I apologize.
How close is the 2-mile limit to your,
It touches the one, does it touch one lot?
Yeah, the number 11 lot, it touches that lot.
And I apologize.
In order to do the TIF agreement, in order to enter into a TIF agreement with Mr. Peterson, we do have to get the city to sign off, just like we did with the Heartland subdivision down on Pioneer Trail. So they'll have to sign off on that joint agreement with us as well,
okay.
because it does touch.
John, do you have an estimate, or Mr. Peterson, do you have an estimate of the road cost?
The road itself going in, just the road itself,
Yes, the
my
road.
estimate, that the quote that I accepted was $276,000. That's just for the road. I put a lot of pipe underneath the culverts and stuff that the county wanted.
Is that city water, city
No.
sewer? No?
Septic and well.
Cloverleaf is septic and well, and.
I can't hear you, John.
Cloverleaf is septic and well.
Okay.
I was hoping that we were gonna be able to have John or Mike Bonnet here today just to kind of make sure that the board was aware of the concerns that they have currently right now with the pipe that was installed underneath the road. There's a lot of conversations going back and forth that they're waiting on answers from Mr. Peterson at HDM, because the roads department right now, it's the wrong pipe for them. So that's the reason on my staff recommendation, I put in there that we need to have we need to have Mr. Peterson sign on with somebody to help him along with this development. We've had concerns, complaints from the beginning on the dirt work that happened. The roads department right now is trying to stop the road from getting poured because they believe it's the wrong piping that's underneath the road out there right now. So I just think that he needs a little help to make these meetings happen faster, get these concerns settled with the road, so that way things can move forward, because we don't want to go out there and pour a bunch of concrete and have to tear it back up.
Oh, yeah.
You
But it was all
also,
approved by HGM.
Well, I mean,
We sent there was letters written, and they sent it to contact of Ankeny, Iowa, and they sent back the paperwork saying that it was approved for what he was asking for, and the county agreed to it, and that's what we used.
I think that's the problem. I don't know that the county agreed to it. I think
And
that's the
that's
part that was
HGM's
missing.
and your guys' thing to work out. I've been right foot to foot with HGM through the whole step of the process. I haven't been doing my own will. I've been, what John Jorgensen tells me to do, I do.
Mr. Jorgensen will be heavily involved in the completion of this project, so will I. You get into projects like this, and sometimes it's not uncommon for people to think they can do some of the work themselves at a cheaper price. Ryan Lee came in and finished up the grading, and we're gonna hand walk him through the rest of it. And most importantly, I apologize on that other comment.
No, you're okay.
Sorry, because the counties, you guys are very positive and aggressive on subdivisions and growth in the county, and I commend you on that. And that area has proven itself as a proven area. We got 166 lots in Ventry, 53 in Cloverleaf, and then along the road, McPherson, there was Prairie Meadows, and then 235th. Another piece of ground is coming up for sale out there, 235th in Dogwood, open potential development. So that area is, I think there's only so many places you can go, and it happens to be east.
What pipe did we install in that road?
we didn't install it.
What pipe was installed?
Again, that's why I was hoping to have the roads department here to speak about that, but John's doing a bridge pour. Mike had other meetings already set up, ready to go, but there's concerns that have to be addressed before this road gets poured, because I don't want to, you hate to see somebody put a bunch of money into something, only have to tear it back out. And, they've been, from the email strings that I saw, the roads department has been reaching out, trying to get these concerns addressed, and it's just not happening.
I would recommend
That probably needs to get handled for sure.
Yeah.
And then, what can, the potential cost of the homes are gonna determine the TIF.
Correct.
Can the people run, would it be our TIF agreement people that would make some assumptions that what that TIF would look like? Because it'd only be on the rural levy, right?
Right.
The only thing you're gonna get back TIF on.
Yeah, you have LMI involved, and so that it's a tough
LMI?
deal.
There's LMI involved in everything.
Every TIF with housing.
And I think Mr. Jorgensen will get with John at the county, and that has to, I agree with Matt, that has to be ironed out. And what Pam and I also discussed is time flies, and this, I think it expires December 1st, the plating, so we're probably close to potentially needing an extension. We're so tight on timelines, so I don't know if that can be addressed today, or Matt, what's your thoughts on that?
But we're gonna get it on the agenda for a separate meeting, but yes, we do have to extend the plat.
So today, we probably table this to wait for roads.
Well,
I think you're correct, Brian. We want to try to make sure that, as Matt mentioned, that we want the right tube in there before.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know anything about it. I haven't seen any information from either Mr. Peterson, Matt, or John on this. I don't have any issues with us trying to take a look at a TIF for that. But, you know, the home values and time frame make a difference on, as you mentioned, what costs can be covered in a period of time.
Right.
We don't know that.
John Jorgensen, can you address the two as the engineer?
Right, I've been in contact with Mike Bonnet and John, trying to get a meeting scheduled here for the next few days, just to get something resolved, and like Matt was saying, they're busy for the next couple of days, but I think if I can get something here this week, we can get that resolved. It's a question of corrugated metal pipe versus a concrete pipe, and I think we can get that ironed out with the engineering department.
What kind of cost versus?
Yeah, concrete's about double, and we've used corrugated metal pipe in other installations around the county, so I just need to get with Mike and John and discuss it, resolve it, so.
Okay. Any more questions?
So what's the total value all built out? What,
Probably gonna be we're gonna estimate 6 to 650 minimal on homes, minimal. So $7.5, $8 million.
thank you.
That's conservative.
And the 650 doesn't include the lot price?
Yeah, 650, that would be low end with the lot, maybe low end with the lot.
Did you have something else, Mr.
No,
Peterson?
John Jorgensen took care of it.
Okay.
I just wanted you guys to know that I did not push any of this engineered stuff through
That's
on my
okay.
own.
Supervisor Shea, I don't have any issues with us taking a look at a TIF opportunity for this. I don't think we're at the point where we can approve or deny one. We haven't even seen any costs.
No,
So
we
I
haven't.
think if
So
they get that information to us, I think we can take a look at it.
you can work on that and we'll get it back on the agenda. Sure appreciate it.
Thank you so much for your help.
Yeah. Like to see development out there.
Matt, could we coincide that with the extension?
Yeah. That'll work. Okay. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next up, David Bayer, Chief Information Officer, Information and Technology. Discussion and/or decision to hire a help desk technician at step 5 on grade 52 pay scale. David.
I'm right here.
There you are. I'm looking around for you.
Yeah, you bet. So, yeah, thank you. When we applied or advertised our job, we advertised help desk 1, 2, or 3 positions, hoping to kind of maybe land in the middle somewhere. What we found does land in that middle, and I can't give them any more than a step 2 on the help desk 2 position. So that's why I'm asking to move up to a 5, because that's what would land this person. So, as far as, you know, I had advertised help desk 1, 2, and 3. The help desk 1 position, step 1 is 49,000. Help desk 3, step 11 is 85,000. What I'm asking for is 62.4. So kind of in that middle between those two ranges.
David, where does that place him with your other help desk people that you have?
They are 3s, so this would be the help desk 2 position below them. There, as far as their salaries, I don't have their numbers in front of me, but one of our guys has been here for 11 years, and I think he's probably maxed on his 3, so he'd be at the upper end. Our other one is also at 3, and he's been here for 4+ years, so he would be a few steps into the 3 level. So this new person would be below that. That was a desire that I had. I didn't want to bring it.
And you have someone ready to go?
Yep.
That'd be a good
Yeah, we
start.
had 56 people apply, really good turnout.
56?
56, and
That's a good turnout, isn't it?
really good turnout. We had a lot of good choices, ranges from 0 years of experience all the way up to over 30 years of experience. So I think that it's a good market for us, but
Yeah.
we're gonna land a good person.
So this is kind of replacing the person that, the board sent to help the sheriff with his IT issues, right?
This is that reason, yep, to have someone out there full-time. We do a rotation is what we would do, so all of our help desk people would rotate here and there. So we'd have someone out there for a month, and then the other two would be here for 2 months, then every month we rotate, they'd be out there for a month at a
We've
time.
had real good positive feedback from
Very
that.
good, yep. Yeah,
So-
it's been a success.
So, how, to get 56 applicants, how long was it posted?
I think
2
it was-
weeks.
Yeah, it was only posted for 10 days and we didn't,
Jesus.
we just did it how we normally post it. We didn't, look at where extra places, colleges, things like that. We just did our normal posting. I am surprised as well. I didn't think we would get that many, but it's wonderful that we did.
There's been a lot of layoffs in the IT world, so a lot of people are looking.
Huh. Okay.
I definitely think it's needed over there.
I agree. Yeah, it's, it'll be a win-win for both of us.
I
We
think
get
so.
depth, and they get someone out there full time.
Well, you got time, to find out if they're the right person, then you got a large pool to go pick from if it isn't.
True.
And this is within your budget.
Yeah, the sheriff's office, we transferred 50,000 from them, so that would cover this for sure. I'm not asking for extra money, I'm just asking for the opportunity to go beyond step 2.
I like those words, no extra money.
Yeah,
I'll make
Yet.
Yeah.
He didn't put yet in there.
Yeah. I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Shannon, you got anything else to add?
No?
Okay. Got a motion by Belt, a second by Jorgensen to approve. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
thank you, appreciate it very much, thank you.
Thank you, David. Thanks for coming in. Next up, Sherry Dahlheim, Chief Medical Examiner Investigator Coordinator, and Jana Lemrick, Director of Human Resources. Discussion and/or decision to approve the addition of Chief Deputy Medical Examiner Investigator Coordinator position and job description for said position. Wow.
Good morning.
Sherry.
Now, based off of our conversation last week and our proposal for that position, we were asked to go back and look into some funding opportunities. The number that we based that off of, just to clarify, was step 6 of that grade. And the reason behind that, just so that you are aware, is that if we are hiring internally, that individual will have the knowledge and acumen necessary to have an immediate effect in my office. And I think having the appropriate salary, in addition to at the beginning of that grade, is very close to the highest paid investigator's salary. So we need to offer a little bit of a distance in that as well.
What grade is it?
Pay grade 524.
What's the salary range on 524, Jen?
524 is $29.22 an hour to $38.34 an hour. We're asking for, with this job's approval, to approve up to pay grade, or step 6, which is $33.07 an hour.
33 what?
3307.
Don't we normally post a job, interview the people for it, and then determine?
Yes, and that is definitely still the plan to do so. We're trying to sort of kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. Knowing that this is going to be an internal hire, we already know what those internal candidates are paid, and when we're taking a look at our employee handbook and talk about for a promotion, this would be a promotional opportunity, they need to receive at least a 5% pay increase. Looking at where they are right now, we would need to put them likely at step 6, and so we're just asking for that approval now so that we don't have to come back later to do so. But yes, it will still be dependent upon who gets the role, experience, and that sort.
So this job's gonna be posted?
That's what we're asking for approval. So today we're
It
asking for.
sounds like you've already hired somebody.
No, we know it's internal. We know it's likely going to be an internal candidate. We're going to hire or post internal first. And since we already know what their pay rates are,
Whose pay rates?
your internal candidates are internal medical examiner investigators.
They're part-timers.
They're on call, yes. Yep.
And you're saying up to this amount?
Correct. So what we're asking for is approval of the job description for the new position at pay grade 524 to post and hire immediately. We had thrown around the idea of April 1st or July 1st. We're asking for immediately and then up to a pay grade, step 6 in pay grade 524.
Sherry, will this eliminate one of your on-call people then?
We'll pull one up, yes. The way it'll be structured though is that the 2 full-time positions, mine and the additional one, would increase the coverage that I would normally have. We would extend that a little bit, so that'll offset that. But we can always hire additional investigators, which it's hour for hour the same. We can have 10 or we can have 2. They're still covering the same hours.
Okay.
So if we decided we needed an additional investigator, we could add someone on at another time.
And this one, is this one available for overtime, or is this?
Yes. Oh, no, this position that we're hiring for, sorry, not your on-call investigators. This, Sherry's right-hand employee is an exempt position, so it's not eligible for overtime. And that's because they do have some supervisory responsibility over the on-call medical examiners. So they meet that exemption criteria.
Okay.
What is the step 6?
3307.
I think it's pretty important that it's an important position, and I really think you need it.
Agreed.
Yeah, we've already established that, and you need help.
It's been a few years since I've been involved with it, and I've seen it since the beginning, so.
So I will make the motion to approve the job description for the said Chief Deputy Medical Examiner Investigator / Coordinator position. And was there more to that motion that we needed?
The job description does say pay grade 524, so I don't believe that you need to say that in your motion. But if you could in the motion, say something to the effect of an offer up to step 6. Because similar to how David came in today to ask you if he could go up to step 5, that's what we're doing. So if you could have those both in that motion, I think would be helpful.
With an offer to go to step 6.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
And that was on grade 524.
Correct.
Okay, got a motion and a second to approve
Who got second, Jeff?
Jeff?
for step 6, up to step 6 in grade 524.
Do you just have one person that's out of the low part-timers that you think is, or are there a couple part-timer people that are looking at?
That might apply? I'm not sure.
Just in talking with the team, when we've mentioned that we are attempting to make this happen, there have been a few that have expressed interest. I know of at least 2 that will apply, if not 3 or 4, but, you know, it's just hard to say. I think part of it depends on what's established for pay and schedule, et cetera.
Okay.
Schedule should be,
These 3 or 4 are inside, already okay, inside.
should be able to fill where needed outside what you're doing. You know,
It'll be quite variable.
yeah,
When,
should be a reduction
Sure
in
help with the-
part-time employees.
Sure help with the paperwork too.
Yep.
Well, I hope so.
Sorry. Go ahead, Tim.
when this time period closes on the posting of the position, I would assume there'll be an interview team. Who will that be?
It would be myself and Dr. Elliott at the very least, unless we might we talked about bringing in a third person that would be unbiased to our department and doesn't know any of my investigators. So we think that would be a
Could
good,
Susan Miller sit in on those with you?
absolutely.
Very good. How about you?
Sure.
Okay,
Awesome.
I'm open to
Okay.
whomever, as long as we have ability for not a split vote. So,
okay.
Well, you're a strong enough person, Sherry, that shouldn't happen.
I'll take that as a compliment, Tim.
Please do.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank
It's a
you.
long
My
time
team
coming.
thanks you.
Good, Sherry, thank you. Okay, next up, request for board to sign employment agreement with Director, Chief Medical Examiner Investigator, Sherry Dolan.
I'll take this one and the explanation of this one. So what you have there on your agenda is number 2 and number 3. So this is gonna be an or/and situation here. Number 3 is Sherry's updated job description, which we do need that approved. When we created this other position, full-time position for Sherry's department, we needed to update her job description, which we've done there. So we will need that approved, but the title is going to be dependent on what the board decides here. What I'm recommending for number 2 is that we change the current title to be the director of that department. As it is right now, let's see, it says Chief Medical Examiner, Investigator, Administrative Manager. Because right now, the current role is a management role. I would like that to be changed to Director, Medical Examiner, Investigator. To change this position to a director level, and therefore putting Sherry into an employment agreement, the same as all the other department heads within the county. Either way, sorry, Brian, either way, we'd be asking for the same pay increase, whether you leave it in the manager role or if you elevate it to the director role. The difference would be by making it a director, having this employment agreement, again, the same as the other department heads within the county, it would give that 5 additional days of PTO that department heads get. And again, those are use it or lose it days.
There, what?
The 5 additional PTO days.
Okay.
So just
Those have
changing,
been in contracts for years.
so just changing the name to director, it doesn't cost us anything.
Well, along with that, we would ask for a pay increase, and department heads and directors within the county aren't on step and grades, they just have pay rates. And so what we would be looking at for this position is $85,446.40. The difference for the rest of this fiscal year, it would cost us about $6,600 to make this change.
66?
Correct. For the rest of this fiscal year.
I can fit that into my budget.
So then for the next fiscal year, obviously we don't know what pay increases would be, but if we looked at this on a total fiscal year, it's an increase of $11,377.
Mitch, have we determined that we have funds from other departments that are available to cover these costs?
Yeah, I sent you guys an email last week that showed that some of the other departments weren't quite fully staffed, so it covers it for this year. We'll still have to do a budget amendment that'd be specific to her department, but other departments would be returning funds. Obviously, there would be an increased ask in next year's budget.
So what do you want, Janet?
Questions?
So what I would like is for you to approve number 2. So moving this position into an employment contract at the pay rate that I stated, which is in the employment contract. This would begin November 4th, which was Saturday, which happens to be the beginning of a pay period, but you're signing it today, and so I do have those dates adjusted. So I have the one that you would sign, not the one that I sent you, because it has the wrong date on there. And then for the separate one for number 3 would just be to approve that job description.
All right, I'll make a motion to authorize the chairman to sign the employment agreement as presented in the packet to the board for Sherry Dahlheim, and also make the language change on her job description to director,
Second?
to cover both of them.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
We appreciate your support.
Yes.
I've needed it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jen.
Okay, next up, Jana Limerick, Director, Human Resources, discussion and a decision to approve and authorize board to sign memorandum of understanding between Pottawatomie County and the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, Local 2364-911, agreement for the employees of the Pottawatomie County Communication Centers, effective July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2025. Jana.
That is a lot. This is an MOU that we did have in 22 to 23, and oversight, we did not bring it to you when we brought the other two MOUs and the union contract. So this MOU, when the 911 center changed to 12-hour shifts, we had to adjust some of the wording, such as, let's see, holiday leave. Before, the contract specific, or the MOU specifically said, employees will receive 8 hours of holiday leave. Well, now they work 12-hour shifts, so we just needed to fix that to put in the word 12. Again, we had this in 22, 23, and just didn't bring it to you for this go-round. So that's why, and they have been living by this now. They are still doing this. It never stopped. So this is just a formality to sign it today.
For the sheriff, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
Is this in an MOU with the sheriff's department?
This is in an MOU with the board, because the union contract is between the board and AFSCME, so this MOU is the board and AFSCME.
No, I'm talking about, is there an MOU with the sheriff's department? They work 12-hour shifts too.
Oh, there was, so when the deputies went to 12-hour shifts, they did have an MOU for that first year, and then it's been placed into their contract. So that would be our goal for 911, is to eliminate these MOUs that talk about the 12-hour shift. But I know when we implemented the 12-hour shift, the board did want some updates from the department and wanted, I think, a year at least under the belt before we actually put it in the contract. So that would be our ultimate goal. But right now, we're still able to accomplish what we need to through the MOU process.
So you'll put this will become part of their contract next year?
Very likely. Well, and this is good through 2025, because their union contract is open for wages only again this year. So then we'll add it to their contract for,
So we'll do this one more time.
correct. Yeah, we'll do this one more time, right.
And Jana, you said that they're already operating under this?
Yes.
If this expires in 2025, that gives you two negotiating years to get this into their agreement.
Because their whole contract ends, well, yes, but I think we're thinking about the time that we negotiate is almost at least 6 to 9 months before their contract even ends. That I think is what Brian and I are thinking of, yeah. They do have another MOU that expires in 2025 as well, which the board approved in June. Might have been April.
Questions?
Sounds like an easy fix to me.
Yes.
Okay, looking for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carried. Committees?
Thanks, Janet.
Thank you. That was a lot of reading. I went with the VA, the Veterans Services Organization, Saturday for their parade, helped hand stuff out.
Speaking of veterans, do we have green lights going? I was gonna check our lights out here.
Yeah, I
They
think
put
they're
in
gonna
green
start
lights on
on
the-
probably Friday. I think they'll probably start on Friday.
No, I thought they were supposed to start it first, this whole week.
November 6th.
Is that when? I don't know.
Sorry for the interruption.
That's okay. It's on Board of Health. The ski hills, the pump house, they were setting pumps yesterday. The floor's poured, the walls are done. They're doing their electrical. Probably within 2 weeks, it'll be darn close. So that's a good, nice little program. Everything's coming together rather nicely up there. Anybody else?
I walked with Brian on the Veterans Parade Saturday. I thought it was very good effort on the VA's part. Also, for all of you Marine Corps veterans out there, it is Marine Corps birthday, November 10th. It's the 248th anniversary of the founding of the United States Marine Corps. I will be celebrating, so just to let you know.
Thank you for your
What
service.
color of beer do you drink on Marine Corps Day?
We look for swabbies to beat up.
Ouch.
I have a friend of mine, has a son, is a senior chief petty officer in the Navy, and he was home one day, and I said, you know what the Navy is, don't you? And he said, what? I said, it's just a taxi service for the United States Marine Corps. He didn't take that.
Do you know where the halls in Montezuma are?
No.
What either?
I think, I think it's in northern Africa.
That's where
What
Tripoli's
are
in.
we-
Or Tripoli, okay.
Yeah.
You got anything?
I have no committee
Mexico,
updates.
maybe.
When are we canvassing the elections? Is that another
Yeah,
meeting we need
the
to set
Spanish
up?
American.
I think that'll be next week
Usually.
is when it'll be.
Melvin, would you say next week for canvassing the election?
Yes, probably take about an hour, because you're gonna have a whole lot of stuff to sign. I think we're looking at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock at least, yeah.
If you have any public hearing at 10,
Yes,
yeah, we better make sure we got plenty of time
we'll
to
start at
do my
9.
signing.
Okay,
All the school board members and city council and mayors.
okay. Thank you. All right, next up is public comments. Do we got anybody signed up? You got to sign up, Tom. Sign the sheet over here. Melvin, wait a second. You got a couple people going to sign.
Okay.
Shauna? What? Shauna?
Thank you for having Sherry back.
I'm surprised. While they're signing up, now begins our public comment portion of the agenda. In an effort to protect the privacy of individuals and reduce potential broadcasting of defamatory and/or confidential information, our live broadcast will now end. Information regarding public comments and public comment policy can be made available